Everything that happens now is happening now. What happened then? When? Just now. We're it now. Go back to then. When? Now. I can't. Why? We missed it. When? Just now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I watched Tenet and I was just like, huh? But then, okay, so without ruining anything for Sach, right? I'm legitimately just gonna say, oh, is he taking his headphones off? All right, cool.
It doesn't matter.
Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hubba.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Zedos Game podcast, and you are joining us in December, sometime in this Mad Max future that we're living through right now. How is everyone?
Okay, I hear.
Yeah.
I like everybody shook their heads.
This is the Zedos Gang podcast. Check it out. The Zedos Gang experience. Trained by Daisy goes podcast by night. All day.
Well, luckily, do you know what? His intro is really good. I really like it.
Do you know who that is?
So what?
Do you know who that? That's Nick Diaz saying that.
No way.
So Nick Diaz, he did it right after a fight.
Yeah.
Right, sort of near the beginning of Joe Rogan's podcast, where he just comes out and he's like, "Trained by day, Joe Rogan's podcast by night, all day." Like that is. Nick Diaz, in the ring right after a fight.
No
Joe
way.
Rogan is interviewing him after a fight. Yeah, just Google it, and then you'll find it on YouTube for free.
Okay. I always thought that was Joe Rogan just shouting at
No, it's definitely Nick Diaz.
Okay. Fair enough. There's a little bit in there for everyone, whoever's listening. All right, okay. Sach, how are you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Love the ring light.
Yeah, cheers, man. Just fucking about with it. That's why there's been some lighting issues while you guys were talking. I was just like, ooh. What's this?
But is your webcam a potato?
A potato?
Because it looks like you're filming yourself through a potato.
What's it?
I'm not even
It's blurry and laggy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my web camera on my laptop.
So you kind of remind me of every guy in internet chat room back in the 90s, you know?
Yeah,
about on those chat rooms. How you doing?
Yeah, it's not an external one. I mean, I guess I could try out my GoPro.
Everyone cool? Everyone healthy?
Yep.
Good stuff. Sach, what are the trailers?
Oh, we've actually started the podcast.
Yeah, I've been recording for the past 10
We
minutes.
started this. Oh, Jesus.
Everyone see any good films this week?
No. I haven't watched a film since Tenet.
Oh,
damn. So what decent films have I watched?
I saw Spies in Disguise.
I know what I watched.
Tenet. Go on.
I watched the Transformers last night and decided it was worse off than the last time I watched it. It's because my nephew wanted to watch Transformers, and I had to put it on.
That's
It was the only
Transformers
thing
is
there.
I tell you what, I watched Freaky.
Oh, how was that?
How was it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Ah.
Exactly what you expect. A $5 million budget movie that will make more than $5 million because Blumhouse.
Well, if it's not in the cinema, it won't make anything.
I reckon it will.
Where? How?
It's got a release in the cinema. Just not in this country.
It's not like that. A lot of the streaming services don't really pay lump sum, like one fee. They have sometimes inbuilt in them that if they pass a certain amount of viewage, the next amount will have a certain amount of payment per view as well.
Right.
So it depends on the
you know what I love that Disney were like, hey, pay £30 to watch this dog shit Asian ripoff of Mulan. And then not even 5 months later, it's like, oh, it's free.
I remember that they opened in China and everybody went, This is not a Chinese show.
Do you know what's really funny?
I don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah. What's really funny about China? They were super pissed because so Disney made Kung Fu Panda, and they were like, "How is it that these Westerners made a better story about Kung Fu than we ever did?" And they were super pissed that Kung Fu Panda was like super, like removes the animals, and it's super like legitimate to the story of Kung Fu.
Wow. Okay, I've never seen either one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you never seen
really good. DreamWorks, wasn't it?
No, I think it's Disney. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Well, then either way, China were pissed off. But then again, that's China.
I mean, yeah. Without getting too political, I think it's one way or the other. So China does something, America gets pissed off. America does something, China gets pissed off. Blah 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 blah.
Well, recently, did you guys hear about the Monster Hunt movie?
The Monster Hunt.
Yeah, you know the
Monster Hunter. Okay, yeah.
Monster Hunter movie. They had to take it off for a week. They're gonna bring it back next week.
Okay.
Because in China, well, there's a stupid joke. Is
it to do with Winnie the Pooh?
No, dude, it's about an Asian guy who's talking to Mila within the film, and he's talking about his knees, and he like falls down. He goes like, "Have you seen my knees?" She goes, "What? What kind of knee? What do you mean by your knees?" He goes like, "My Chinese." And everybody hated that. So they had to take it out.
That's so bad, it's good.
It was so bad that the Chinese translator who did the translation of the film, who was, doing the Chinese dialogues, changed it completely, right?
Wow.
But some people who know English went, wait a minute, that's not what he said.
Right.
And then they tried to listen, it's like, wait a minute, this is what he said. So they got pissed off. Somebody wrote an article about it in the newspaper, and everybody read it, and then went back and listened to it and went, oh shit, it is a racist joke.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they had to take it off, and they removed the line, and they're going to put it back on again. I mean, so dumb.
What happened to the good old days where you could just say whatever the fuck you wanted in a movie? Just get on with it. Just fucking... Everyone's so pissed off. People are annoyed. Everyone's mad at... People are annoyed at Ghost of Tsushima as well. They're like, oh, why? Ghost of Tsushima, because it won the so basically so Neil Druckmann, the guy who did
The Last of Us.
Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Fuck
he
that
was
guy.
like absolutely fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
He was like petitioning everyone to go and like vote for The Last of Us 2, and then people ended up voting for Ghost of Tsushima instead because it's just a better game. And then like people are like, oh, the alt-right and all this bullshit. Like, go eat a bowl of dicks.
It's a bloody video game, man. it's Jesus. Well, yeah, that's the world turns. Satch, what's the trailers?
Oh yeah. Well, we actually started.
Okay, first up we have The Dig. You know what? I was really excited to see the trailer for The Dig because I thought it was based on a video game that Steven Spielberg produced, Spielberg-esque thing. And I don't know whether you guys know about the video game. It's about astronauts and like they go into space and they find this archaeological dig or something, and all crazy stuff starts happening. Had an all-star cast. I can't remember who the stars were because I played it way back in the 90s. And it was a point and click like Monkey Island and Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis and Leisure Suit Larry and all those great point and click games. Guess what? This trailer was not that. It was not that. I was so disappointed. It was Ralph Fiennes. I guess it's an archaeological dig. He found something, so it was a different dig. And then he found some shit, and it's based across World War II or World War I. I'm not too sure. And it looks all right. Academy Award winning bait stuff. So maybe.
Well, it's not going to be in any awards because it's not going to be in a cinema.
Oh, well, there you go.
Do you know? No, well, I reckon they'll change that. I reckon they'll start.
No, they've already said. They already said that they may change the rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have to if they want anything in it.
Well, here's the thing.
I think it's dumb for them not to put, but it's a movie. I mean, it's like when you're putting a movie, why would you exclude it? Because it's on a streaming service, it doesn't get shown on the silver screen. It's so dumb.
I can tell you why.
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
It's because there's certain rules that the picture has to be, if it's shot at a certain aspect ratio, it has to be shown at the right aspect ratio, the picture quality, sound, it's got to match a particular criteria. Netflix films don't match that criteria. That's why they put their films in the cinema for a couple of weeks, and then so it can qualify.
fine, yeah. They probably do that anyway.
I disagree with that dumb rule. I disagree. Listen, if we can rig elections in the US, if we can change the rules in the US for how we elect a standing president, we can change the rules for how the fucking Oscars run, please. And someone get Ricky Gervais to fucking go on there again. Well, he did Golden Globes, but get him to do the Oscars. Let him host the Oscars. That's what I wanted. Just as a final fuck you to the end of Hollywood.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to this film. This is my type of thing.
Yeah, I do like the Oscars as well. Whatever, man. Who cares?
So you said this film Dig. It's like it was supposed to be one thing, and now it's become something completely different.
No. That's what he thought it was.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, because
that's how I felt. That's how I felt about that film, The Avengers, when I was a kid. And I was like, the Avengers. Why the fuck is Uma Thurman in this shit?
You thought she was Black Widow.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? That was Ralph Fiennes too, right?
Yeah, that was Ralph Fiennes too, yeah.
Motherfucker coming around and ruin shit for everybody.
I'm looking forward to this. So I'm guessing I'm the only one here.
I don't have Netflix, so I'll never watch it.
No, don't worry about it.
Do you not have Netflix out of choice, or do you not have Netflix because you just can't be fucked to pay for the account?
No, I saw the writing on the wall where everything was going. So
is it a Netflix film?
Yeah, it is. It's got Netflix right on the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Netflix film.
I watched it yesterday.
Sasha, it starts off like this, bodong, like that, and that tells you that it's a Netflix movie.
Here's the thing: whenever I do the show notes, I watch the trailers when they first come out, or whenever I first get dinged, and then I put them in the show notes and let them stay there, until the show until we do the show. So I watch these trailers well before anything, and sometimes I might watch them just before the show, and this trailer didn't really make me go, I want to see it again. You know what I mean? I saw it, I got the picture, cool. So that's why I couldn't remember whether it was Netflix or not.
I'm not sure if it's actually commissioned by them. I think it's a British film that may have been bought by them.
So you think it was bought by them?
I have a feeling it's a bought film. I think it's because it's the right time of the year when these films tend to come out.
Yeah. So in that case, if it was a bought film, it would have done the film festival circuit. In which case that means it's been shown on a cinema screen, which means.
But I don't know.
It qualifies.
But I don't know, buddy.
Sorry, can I just go? I'm more interested as to why Joe doesn't have Netflix. Can you answer my question?
Because I don't care.
Oh, you don't care? Oh, no. Okay, so I just wanted to know if is it solely? Is it like a content or a financial issue for you?
No. I saw.
You're just like, I'm not going to pay for that shit.
I saw many films on Netflix through my friends, and when I was not at Sacha's house, but just through various people, and the quality of the films just weren't great, and so I was like, I'm not paying for this. And I saw the writing on the wall earlier, so this is what everyone's going to do. They're just going to throw content at you and ask you to pay.
If somebody were to gift you a subscription, would you use it?
I mean, literally,
like if I gave you a login.
Maybe. There's only a few things I want to watch on Netflix. I've taken myself out of this whole streaming world arena because it's bollocks.
Why? I don't understand.
Because it is. It just is.
There's some good content around.
That's fine. I'm not stopping anyway. Why does everyone? It's like I still buy my music on CD. I have a Walkman.
Leo,
you guys do your shit. I'll do mine.
Leo, I think Joe's just pro physical media. I know you are.
That's okay. Well. Yeah, so
I think this is Joe's way of supporting it.
I own Wicked City in 3 formats already, and I just went and bought the fucking Blu-ray. Why? Whatever I can.
No, I'm not against all streaming sites. I mean, when I was working for my old company, they gave us a look. We worked for Amazon, and they gave us a login to, which I still use to this day. It's free. So I have no complaints with it. I just don't watch much on it. And
but you'd watch stuff like The Boys or Stranger Things or something like that.
It's a good show. It's a really good show. So I'll watch good shows, but there's not many that I would. But it's things
like don't you think things like Netflix that help make films like The Irishman, for example, or The Old Guard. They help to make pretty decent or help fund or release movies. I think also, obviously, given the current climate, things like Netflix are actually pretty fucking useful.
Yeah,
personally, because
again,
like I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying like, I just think like the days of when Netflix was like, it's just like a Netflix movie as opposed to like I will agree with you on some things. Their content could be better, but they do fucking make some pretty decent films too. And like pretty decent TV shows.
As far as I'm concerned, the TV shows
Amazon are the worst for it. Amazon are the worst.
The TV shows are better than their films. I can't say anything about their TV shows. Their films, if Netflix was selling their service to me based on their films, I'll never watch Netflix.
Yeah, but TV shows are always going to be better because long form content is way more enjoyable anyway.
To a degree. You can go through one season of something and then you find out it's cancelled. Netflix are notorious for doing that.
That's the one thing I truly hate. And that's why I'm in Sasha's like, yo man, you need to watch Happy. Nope. Why? Because it's finite. It's cancelled. It's not even finite. It's cancelled.
Just watch one season. The season.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to fucking get honey dicked into it.
You just watched season 1. It ends as a beginning.
Why do you think
I've
never watched? I've never watched the end of House. Because as far as I know, Gregory House is still out there doing his thing. I don't want to see the end.
That's how exactly it ended, dude. That's literally how it ended. Yeah.
He just does. No, he's still there doing now. They're still making TV shows. I just ain't doing them. In my imagination.
Look. In the to shorten this, I have nothing against Netflix or any other streaming site. I don't need it. I still watch TV for goodness sake. So I'm not the one.
Is it because they can't target advertise you?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Next film on the trailer list.
What's next?
Next film on the trailer list. The Dry, trailer 2. We looked at the first trailer of this like a few weeks back, and we all thought it was really dry. The second trailer, mind you, showed us more of the story and stuff, and I actually kind of dug it. I actually like the kind of aesthetic and the way this is going, and I've completely done a 360 U-turn on this movie because that first trailer was so dry, pun intended. It was just so shit, and I didn't even know what it was. But this one, you kind of get an idea of what the movie is, and I'm game. And plus, it has Eric Bana. Eric Bana's awesome. So yeah, thoughts, guys?
I'm looking forward to
Eric Bana's all that.
He's a great comedian. Does really spot
Aaron
on.
Falk returns to his drought-stricken hometown to attend a tragic funeral, but his return opens a decade-old wound and the unsolved death of a teenage girl.
You didn't watch the trailer, I take it?
Of course I didn't. I didn't watch any of these trailers. Bro, do you want to know something? Just a trade secret about this podcast. You send me show notes, I don't ever read them. You might as well just not send them to me.
As long as you have them, man, it's not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like you could facilitate your checklist and be like, I sent that to Leo, but does Leo read it? Probably not. I just wing it. That's why you don't ever want me on set for a film. You want to, because I'll just take over. I'll just be like, I just did it my way. Why? Because like Frank Sinatra, bro. Just do it your way.
Oh God.
Next movie.
I'm actually looking forward to the film because the bunch of new stuff's coming out of Australia. They're picking it up. I mean, on Netflix they have a couple of shows which are not Netflix shows. Actually, they are Australian shows. They picked them up. Yeah. And not only that, one of these actresses is in one of those what are called shows. Genevieve O'Reilly. She's in a bunch of stuff, man. She's in Tin Star. She's in
Genevieve.
Glitch.
Is she the woman from Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, she played Mothma. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So she's in Glitch.
Yeah. That's
also a pretty cool show. Ends on Netflix as well. And this movie seems like those guys, what I call this back in Australia, are getting, their shows now across the field, basically. And they're doing well. And they're good, too. And not only that, this kind of movie hasn't been around. I mean, they haven't been made in a long time. I mean, they do it for streaming services, but don't really do it for actual cinemas anymore. Because I don't think they make that much money anymore. Murder mysteries. They tend to be TV shows now.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Red Dot.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what Leo's doing, but he's definitely doing something. He's up to something.
He's Googling. I can just see Sasha's face in Leo's laptop.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just realised what's going. Oh
He's
yeah,
just
you can't
reflecting
totally
off-
see his face. Oh no,
just
I'm- yeah,
reflecting off his lens.
You know, I was absolutely googling. I was going on IMDb, looking at like whatever we're talking about.
Yeah. No,
So
Red
just
Dot.
type
I'm
on
actually
graphic.
I really like this trailer. Does anybody else like it? Did
Yeah,
anybody see it?
I thought it was a really good trailer.
It looks interesting, and that's as far as I'll go with it.
Again, it was a film that was picked up in film festivals.
That's about as far as I'll go with it. Fuck the rest.
Again, it was a film that was picked up in film festivals by Netflix. I think it looked really good. I like thrillers. Seemed like a decent low budget concept, and yeah, sure, I'm in.
I thought it's a weird nightmare, really, simply because you can think about it that something happened to you like that to somebody, pointing a dot at you, and you kept on thinking if somebody's going to shoot me or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the trailer shows. I mean, that's all I know. But unless
What's this?
Oh, this is the Red Dot.
That's the next film we're talking about.
You know what I remember? You know what I think about that when you just described that to me? That I think about the first scene in that film, Wanted, when the Indian lady is sitting in the office and she's got the red dot that Indian ladies wear when they get married, the Hindu ladies. She has the Hindu dot, but the sniper's actually also got a laser dot on it.
Oh,
and
right.
then he shoots her, and like I thought that was pretty cool. That was like a fun little. That would never fly in 2020.
No.
Yeah, it really wouldn't. Look. In all honesty, it does look good. But again, as I said, when you're watching subtitled films at home, or if it's not done properly, it will fall by the wayside. You'll lose your focus, and you'll do something else. And it looks compelling enough for you to sit through. So that's something. It's got to be something. So
I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of screaming and not that much dialogue, so you could probably follow it.
Yeah. It looks like it's made for this, well, made within that, inclined that it's
in mind.
Yeah, in mind, so that you don't have to focus too much on what everyone's saying, because it looks like there isn't that much a big of a cast. So it's going to be a lot of running.
Hold on,
hiding,
sorry, are we
shooting.
talking about the same film here? So when Nadja becomes pregnant, they make an attempt to rekindle their relationship by traveling to the north of Sweden for a hiking trip. But they're oh my god, IMDb really don't know how to spell. They spelled there THIER, not THEIR. Grammar, please. Romantic trip turned into a nightmare, and then I can see a picture of a guy who has a red dot.
Yep.
Yeah. He has a red dot on him.
Yeah, just imagine a couple sleeping in a tent on like fucking North Pole. Like there's nothing else.
I've seen this movie. It's called Phone Booth.
Yeah.
And that was a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Joel Schumacher.
People rip on that film. I'm like, do you know how good that movie is?
Whoever rips on that film has not seen it.
No.
Yeah, I love that movie. I'm like, Phone Booth with fucking Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it's only an hour and 20 minutes. You know, it takes so much out of you.
Yeah. It's a good film, man. It's one of his best.
It's very stressful.
Okay.
Marksman.
Satch?
I read it. See, I had a look.
Yeah, you read it.
Yeah, The Marksman.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I've got to find a graphic for that now. Boom, there you go. The Marksman.
Liam Neeson's new shoot 'em up movie.
Since the latest new action movie since last week.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Literally last week.
Yeah.
Because what last week come out? Honest Thief.
Oh yeah,
which I saw. I actually saw this week, The Honest Thief, and you know what?
Yeah. Good.
It was all right. It was okay. Although there was a guy in it. I swear it's the guy from Burn Notice. I'm not 100% sure. I just need to look that up. But I think the guy from Burn Notice is in it.
Okay.
Like the lead guy. But it was enjoyable.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey Donovan. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I love Burn Notice. That's a badass show.
Yeah, totally, man. Was it him?
So yeah, it is Jeffrey Donovan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've just checked.
But yeah, The Marksman, the trailer looked okay. I mean, standard run-of-the-mill Liam Neeson flick.
So
I'll
just to clarify, a rancher on the Arizona border becomes the unlikely defender of a young Mexican boy desperately fleeing the cartel assassins who pursued him into the US. Now, I'd like to clarify if they're going to try to negate Liam Neeson's accent, because Liam Neeson suffers from what I like to call Kevin Costner-itis. Where
really,
no matter what
I would call it Sean Connery-itis.
Or if you really want to call it, you can call it Keanu Reeves-itis, because we all remember what Keanu Reeves did in that Brian De Palma movie, that one movie that he did where he was in Dracula.
No, that's Francis.
Is that Brian De Palma?
No, that's Francis.
Is that Coppola?
Yeah.
My bad.
Francis Coppola.
Coppola. Either way, we all remember his fucking English accent in that movie. That was disgusting. But
I didn't even know that was an English accent.
Exactly. I love the fact that Kevin Costner decided that he's just like British, whatever. I'm fucking Kevin Costner. I'm Robin of Locksley, and I'm just gonna talk the way I talk.
I talk like I'm from Nebraska.
Yeah. And that's my question. It's like, is Liam Neeson going to be Irish in this movie?
Oh, Joe, no. But he does the southern drawl. It's awful. But
who?
Liam Neeson. If you haven't seen the trailer, he does the southern drawl.
I'd like to point out the worst accent in all of movie history, without a doubt, is Jason Statham in The One. That's it.
Oh, wow.
If you haven't seen that movie, I urge you to just go watch it. It's actually a really good fucking movie.
Yeah,
I actually really enjoyed that film. But if you want to see a really bad accent, just watch Jason Statham. That was the beginning of Jason Statham's career, when he was like, do I have the talent to be British and American at the same time? And then that film solidified that he does not. So he's he just be the quintessential British guy in that story, and then that's how we explain why he's British. That's it. That's all we need to do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, I've seen a lot of documentaries regarding this particular thing, and I think they just copied it off from that and made a movie of it. Kids running across like ranches and, from Mexico into America. It's something very common. So let's see how the movie goes. It's going to be a typical Liam Neeson movie, right?
Upside, maybe the end they'll just separate them at the border and then put them in a cage.
I mean, at least the thing is, what I like about this trailer, I see no shaky cam in sight. Everything's well framed.
Oh yeah.
It looks nice, at least.
Yes.
Because when he did Taken 3, someone analyzed one of the shots. I think he punched someone once, and they cut in 13 different shots of him punching that guy.
Yeah, I think you're talking about scenic fights.
It was either
scenic fights or it was corridor crew. One of those two.
It might have been both, actually. Because wow, it's atrocious how badly that film is edited. It's so bad.
I just want to shout out, by the way, Scenic Fights. If nobody's seen that channel, definitely watch that. They get these two MMA guys and they break down like fight scenes in movies. And the most recent one they did was Man from Nowhere, which, if you have not seen that movie, sick film.
Oh my god,
absolutely sick film.
Yep, agreed.
See how he perks up when he hears Man from Nowhere. So, Man from Nowhere? That's a great movie. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch that fucking movie.
Yeah.
But Scenic Fights, that channel is great. Go watch that. They're like they break down good knife fights in movies and stuff, and they also take the piss out of Steven Seagal.
I knew Steven Seagal was coming out. If you got a knife fight,
that dumb knife fight with fucking Tommy Lee Jones, in Under Siege, where Tommy Lee Jones shouldn't even be in that fight. Why? Because he's 90.
Yeah, he was 90 then.
He was 90 then. Yeah, that's fucking how old he is now.
Oh, good. I love the fact that Tommy Lee Jones has no sense of humor. It just makes me laugh. The last time he was in an interview, it was that interview must have been so stressed because Tommy Lee Jones just doesn't give a
blind fuck.
Yeah, He's just got a placid face, look on his face. It says, okay.
Do you know who Tom Segura? You know who Tom Segura is?
Yeah. The comedian.
Yeah. So Tom Segura, he told.
Kind of looks like you.
Thanks. That's a compliment, my friend.
I know.
I know. Thank you. But yeah, so Tom Segura, he told a joke where he was like, for when he was younger, his dad told him that Tommy Lee Jones was gay. His dad just went, he's gay, right? And he was like, really? And then for years I told everybody that Tommy Lee Jones was gay. And until one day, like I met somebody who was like, no, he's not. And you're like, yeah, he is. And he's like, what? And he's like, no, he's not. He's married and has a family. I know him personally. He's like, who told you this? And he's like, my dad told. And then he called up his dad and he's like, Dad? And he's like, what? And he goes like, Tommy Lee Jones isn't gay. He goes, I thought he is. It's like, so I've been running around for 30 years telling everybody that Tommy Lee Jones is gay.
That's brilliant.
It's the same with Richard Gere. Like when I was younger, I really wanted to watch that film, The Last Night.
Oh yeah.
And my mum was like, "No, you don't want to watch that." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Oh, because that guy's gay." And I was like, "Because it was the '90s, you know." So my mum was like, "That guy's gay. You don't want to watch that movie." And I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "Yeah, watch Batman or something." And I was just like, not gay, huh? All right. That guy's gay, but you want me to go watch Batman? But yeah, and I'm like, is he gay? And even to this day, I don't think I even know that answer. Is he gay? Is Richard gay? Not like
no, he's straight.
No,
he's straight. But,
shit, I've been walking around for 30 years telling him he's gay. So they're gonna ask me, why do you say that? And I'm like, my mum told me.
Who has not done a film with Liam Neeson yet? Bringing us back to this film. It looks good. It looks standard. I hope it does well.
No, actually, I like the way they shot it.
Yeah,
and it reminded me of The Cold Pursuit because that was shot well as well.
Yeah, it was. It
wasn't like Yeah,
it is.
Actually, I liked it. Yeah,
it's fun. It's
on Amazon right now if you want.
It's a nice thriller. It's got a bit of comedy in it as well, but it's fine. Yeah. Why did you do that?
He seems to be playing with the camera himself. Look at me.
Okay. What's next?
What's up next? Marksman.
So I don't know about this thing you're about to talk about. I never heard about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, so apparently there was like a leaked Spider-Man trailer on the official Sony site. Not like an official trailer to the movie, but like some kind of promo with all the Spider-Men in it. And it had clips from all the old movies. So no new footage or whatnot for the new upcoming film. But it had clips from the Maguire one, clips from the Garfield one, clips from the current guy, Tom Holland. And literally Sony put together a promo. I think there's like some kind of Comic-Con or something going on in the South Americas. I don't know where exactly. So if someone can correct me, just let me know. But this was supposed to be a promo for that con. And basically the translation, actually, Leo, if you'd watched it, you might be able to translate it, I think. But
can you find it?
Are you Spanish speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You sent it to me. Should I put it on the group?
Yeah, send it directly to Leo, actually, not in the group. Otherwise, like, you're going to get like a lot of pings on there. But allegedly it's supposed to say who's your favorite Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Which one's your favorite Spider-Man? And more to the sense that in the Marvel universe, anyone can be Spider-Man or something, alluding to the speculation of Spider-Verse, basically.
Well, you know what it kind of looked to me like?
Down an official note.
I just sent you an email, by the way. You know what it looked like to me? It kind of looked like to me as if, one of those entertainment news, what it's called.
Yeah, that's right. That's
what it called.
Hold on.
Intro.
Hold on.
You might want to take the volume off or maybe listen to it.
I'm going deaf, everybody.
Otherwise.
Yeah, I'll get
Going
copyright
deaf.
strikes.
Is it loud?
Yeah, copyright.
It's so loud.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna mute you.
Okay.
Okay. What was being
Anyway,
said?
I was saying that it kind of looked like one of those, those like 20-minute shows that do like entertainment shows. And it's like intro to that show. It kind of looked like one of those things, like a opening credit scene.
Okay.
To a show. That's what it looked like to me. And it kind of looked like as if somebody's about to debate or discuss what might happen.
So it says.
Yeah.
So it says. I'm just gonna play it with no volume because it seems to be just words on the screen. Mm-hmm. So it says no tienes que escoger, which means you don't need to choose. En el multiverso de Marvel, in the Marvel multiverse, todo puede pasar. So anything can happen. And in Spider-Man 3, which is muy posiblemente verás a todos. Okay, so it says in Spider-Man 3 you possibly might see all three, and then it just says yes.
Okay.
Los tres Peter Parker, which is the three Peter Parkers. Hold on. Okay. Saving the world together, salvando el mundo juntos. And then that's it. Hold on.
Sí. I remember. I like the sí.
¿Cuál es tu Spider-Man favorito? Which is your favorite Spider-Man? Then it's got all the three of them showing up. Blah blah blah. Mine's Andrew Garfield, but whatever. I'm just having a look here to see the. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. It just keeps repeating it. It's a possibility. They might all three turn. Could they possibly all turn up? Like maybe you never know.
Yeah. So basically, this showed up on the official Sony website for the South Americas. I don't know which country exactly, but it showed up on that country's Sony website, the official website.
That's
and then
Spain's, is it?
yeah. No, I don't think it's Spain. I think it's one of South America.
No, it's Spanish. So I'm guessing
Portugal. What language do they speak in Portugal?
Spanish and
Portuguese.
No, Portuguese, bro.
Spanish and Portuguese.
No.
Oh, it's just Portuguese. Okay.
This was Portuguese.
You would think it being called Portugal, Joe.
Yeah.
Because it's right next to Spain, so I assume some people would speak Spanish.
So basically, it got pulled like literally an hour later. Or something like that. It got pulled, basically. This thing that got leaked got pulled off the official website, which basically everyone's speculating, it's, it wasn't supposed to be on there or it got leaked early. So obviously while it was on there, some people have seen it. Everyone's talking about it, all this stuff, there's all this stuff. Now, I posted it in our group chat. Someone was like, it's fake. It's not anywhere official. I then explained myself. It was on the official Sony website, but it's now been taken off. Yeah, apparently it's fake. I'm like, well, why is it fake if it's on the official Sony website? I'm just saying. But anyway, point being, do you think Sony are prick teasing us? Or is there going to be an announcement anytime soon? Or what do you guys reckon?
Are we going to talk about what we talked about before we started this podcast?
I don't know. We talked about many things. What were we talking about?
He has 8 arms.
Oh yeah, we can totally talk about
cool.
that.
All right, yeah. So you and I were messaging, and I was like, "Is it happening? I think it's happening. Yeah. Oh, it's happening," because so they've re-signed on what's his name? I don't know his name.
Molina. Yeah.
Alfred Molina to be Dr. Octopus in the new Spider-Man 3 film. So, he signed on to be in the new Spider-Man 3 film. If he's not Dr. Octopus, I don't know what the fuck Sony are doing. if he's just like some guy,
it's a new character called Jim.
Jim. Yeah. Hello, my name's Jim, and I like cock. If he just turns up with that bullshit, you all right, Sash?
Sash just sort of lost it.
There's a reason that they don't have me on this. There's a reason they don't have me on this podcast that often.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so if he's not Spider-Man, if he's not Dr. Octopus, I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on. The only thing I truly want And like, whilst if they do all the other Spider-Mans, which we know is happening, it's happening. They're gonna do it. It's gonna do it. They gotta get Tobey Maguire, give him a hairpiece, and make him not so fat, and then grab Andrew Garfield from whatever whiny bitch movie he's doing, Hacksaw Ridge or whatever the fuck he's doing, and then they'll put a new Spider-Man film, but just give me the Japanese Spider-Man. That's all I want.
Give me the girl and the robot.
No, not that Japanese Spider-Man. Other Japanese Spider-Man, where Peter Parker is not a pussy, where Peter Parker is a fucking photographer or a reporter who rides a motorbike, and then he's just like Spider-Man, and he calls a fucking robot down. And he's like, he has a big Zord and shit. Give me that Spider-Man. If you give me that Spider-Man, I will find whoever's the head of Sony. If you want a blowjob, I will find somebody to give you that blowjob. Not me, but that's the film I want to see. Do that. Just make like, I don't know, Venom massive, or whatever. Just give me a big fucking giant monster, and they'd be like, oh shit. All the three Spider-Mans are like, oh shit, Toby, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Andrew Garfield's like, I don't know, man. I got no jokes. And he's just like, hold on a minute. Spider-Man! And fucking Japanese robot fucking turns up.
That sounds like a porn parody.
That's what I want to see.
That does sound like a porn parody, though.
Well, I mean, sure. He webs people in the face, right?
Well,
do they still do those things?
Oh yeah,
huh?
Yeah, they still do porn parodies.
Yeah, they did. They did one recently off a major movie. What was it?
I think it was The Fifth Element. No.
No. Of a new film that came out, and they did a porn parody of it.
I know they did Cyberpunk 2077.
That's it. That's the one. That's the
okay.
one. That's what they did. That's it. I was like, they did something that was.
It was on the bloody news.
That's how I know about it. And I was just like, oh, but the thing is, you don't realize it.
Why are we talking about the trailer for that?
You don't realize the power the porn industry wields. Yeah, if it wasn't for them, Betamax would be the one in charge.
Yeah,
if it wasn't them, we would have HD protocol DVDs rather than Blu-rays.
Yeah, Blu-rays. Yeah, I'm saying that's the. Well, then and then the internet was just like, oh, we're just gonna create streaming services and ruin that all for you. And now they're trying to take it back because they're like, OnlyFans.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could go into deeper in that, but
anyway, my point is, Spider-Man 3. I don't think that's a real. Okay. I think who you're talking about, Ken. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I think Ken is right, and you're also right. I think Ken is saying it's. I think what Ken means is it's not a real trailer because it's not anything actually real. It's like a promo to tease you, like, hey, this might happen. So Ken is right because it's not a trailer, or it could be.
Well, that's what. That's what I meant.
But you're also right too, because it's like, hey, this is real. It did get created by Sony, but they're just showing it to their Latin American audience, Latinx people. That's it.
With this, everything that's surrounding Spider-Man, this trailer, the Doc Ock thing, and do you think there's going to be a multiverse, or do you think the Doc Ock thing is real? Do you think he's going to be Doc Ock? Satch, what do you think? Alfred Molina that's a thing?
I don't know, man. I don't know. At the moment, until there's an actual confirmation, then I'll believe it. But at the same time, I think it could be a possibility, to be quite honest, because all the rumblings are coming from all the official chains, if you know what I mean. So it could well be. And I'm really optimistic. If it is doing that, I'm like, bring it on. Cool.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, for me, I kind of see it as a way Sony can clean up what. Sony can do their crazy shit that nobody wants to watch, and Marvel can keep doing what they want to do with the character.
Hey. What do you mean nobody wants to watch?
Well, I don't want to watch, but
You're telling me, hold on. Hold on. You're telling me Sony released a movie with all 3 Spider-Men, hopefully 4 Japanese Spider-Men.
No, I'll watch that.
That's what I mean. That's the crazy shit. Or you talking about fucking Morbius and Venom and all that
I'm talking
shit.
about Venom, man.
Venom was a good movie. Why'd you shit on Venom for?
Venom was shit. It was.
You liked it. I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I like.
It made a lot of money. It was successful. I don't understand why you didn't like it. It was a decent film.
I just didn't like it, man.
Is it because Venom's an anti-hero straight away?
No, it wasn't even that. It was just the whole. Look, I just like my Venom traditional. You know what I mean? I wanted him to be incorporated in Spider-Man and do it the traditional way, kind of thing. Because that's the story. They changed it up in a way that didn't make sense to me because he didn't. The whole reason why he has the look in the first place is because he attached himself to Peter Parker. You know what I mean? Now him being attached to Eddie Brock, it just makes no sense to me anyway. But
you understand the whole different species of Venom and all that. You get that, right? Because that's in the comic books.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I get that. I totally get that. But I just feel that I would have preferred to have seen him come off a Spider-Man film first before he got his own film. But, hey, more intelligent people than me like the movie and sucks its dick. I just think it could have been better. I have no problem with Tom Hardy being Eddie Brock. I thought that was probably the best parts of the movie. But I just, I wasn't feeling it. I thought it felt cheap as well.
The one thing I didn't like about that movie, and there were a few, but the main thing I didn't like was that they called it a symbiote.
Yeah.
I want to punch somebody when I heard that. I was like, why are you saying it like that? When people say things dumb and you're like, why are you speaking in that manner? Stop speaking. You are not allowed to say things with your mouth. And that
I
bitch
like
is like,
simply because
symbiote. She says it. If you watch the trailer, she says it an obscene amount of times.
It's symbiote.
It's symbiote. Yeah, it's symbiote. Like symbiotic, not symbiote. That's not a word. Don't fucking say that, dumb bitch.
I actually liked it because I told Sacha this, and I think I've told everybody this, that I have given up on DC. If it come out with a movie that's a DC movie and it's sufficiently nice and decent, I'm happy with it. Yeah. So I don't argue comic books anymore. Sorry?
DC, did you say?
Is it a DC or is it what is it, Vertigo?
No, it's Marvel.
Oh, it's Marvel. Sorry.
Wow.
It's Marvel, but anybody that anybody...
What's this guy doing on the podcast? Wow.
I'm sorry. Sorry, completely forgot. No, what I meant was that if non-Marvel people are making movies and it's a decent movie, I'm okay with it. Usually because, if you've seen the last bunch of movies they've come out with that are not made by what I call comic book people themselves, they are awful.
Yeah.
So what's the next question? Is Star Wars in space?
Star Wars is in space, isn't it?
Is that the next question you're going to ask? Is Star Wars in space?
No. Yeah, so obviously, like last week, David Prowse died, who played Darth Vader and the Green Cross Code Man. R.I.P. David Prowse.
And he also helped out the original Superman, Christopher Reeves.
Yes, he did. Superman. He was Superman's bodybuilder. Yeah, he was his bodybuilder.
I met David Prowse a few times.
Did you? What's he like?
Yeah, Comic-Con. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very polite. Very sad that he's dead.
I like the outtakes of Star Wars where you actually hear him doing the lines to Darth Vader. I think it's quite funny.
I don't watch that bullshit franchise.
Moving on. Okay, so Oscar Isaac is Solid Snake. He's been cast as Solid Snake for the Metal Gear Solid movie. Being directed by the Kong Skull Island director?
John Voight Roberts.
John Voight Roberts. Thoughts, guys?
You and I had a really long discussion about this on the phone.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're essentially going to rehash that conversation all over again. But before I do that, I'll let other people speak.
Joe, you've been quiet. Why don't you start?
Well, I would say at this point, I don't think you could have me as Solid Snake. It won't matter. Oscar Isaac's a good choice. They
kind of did that in Metal Gear Solid 2, really. They honey dicked people, and then they were just like, "Oh, Raiden."
Hey, Raiden made up for it in 4. He made up for it in 4.
You could be the new Raiden.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just don't know if they'll be able to make a half decent film out of that franchise because it's so all over the place in terms of narrative and genre. it's kind of genre bending. It's a comedy. It's a drama. It's a war film. It's what the fuck is Metal Gear? It's an espionage film.
It's mostly a espionage film. Yeah, I mean,
but there's just. I'm telling you, man, it breaks the fourth wall so much. Even in the fifth one, the fifth one's the most serious out of all of them, and it breaks the fifth wall several times. And fourth wall even. It's I don't know. If they've I don't know what time period they're going to take this from. I don't know if he's going to be Big Boss. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know where they're going to drop him in, or where they're going to start telling the story. It's either going to be from the 60s or it's going to be the Metal Gear Solid film we know. Metal Gear Solid first game. So I don't know, man. If he's a good actor, so I think he'll be able to play the part.
See, in my head, I always saw Snake as a guy who was somewhat imposing. Tall, big guy. Oscar Isaac's like 5'8". I mean, they can make him look tall and imposing, or they can make him look like.
Can play Jack Reacher, then I think we'll all
That's
be
true.
okay.
That is true. Well, I mean, since the fact that we have no idea what's going to happen, as long as I guess what we can all demand as a fan, like fans of the property itself, is that we need a good writer, a proper writer, a guy who can.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No?
You don't.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's there. Because it's fucking source material's already done.
Oh yeah, but have
written.
you? Has anybody able to put that into film yet, like properly?
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. All I'm saying is like the source material is there. You just gotta bring it down a little bit. When you add other writers who listen, if they bring a writer in who has never played Metal Gear, just don't even bother. That's the point.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's like what you need to do is you need to take.
Why don't they bring the writers of the game itself? Have them.
Then what's the fucking point in bringing the writers in? You've got the fucking thing there. You already just condensed it.
No. But what I mean to say is that to put it in.
Get the same writers to condense the story.
The writers, yeah.
To adapt the video game storyline to a film storyline.
Or just get David Hayter, because David Hayter used to. Well, he wrote the X-Men film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of bad blood.
Is the only reason you're saying that because David Hayter did the voice, and you're like, hey, correct it.
Yeah, pretty much. That was my only link there, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he script writes as well.
He does.
Yes, he does.
In terms of, but Kojima, he doesn't like Kojima anymore, and Kojima hasn't said anything about Hayter since Kiefer Sutherland. So,
wow.
Yeah, there's no good blood between them. I can't.
Oh, really?
I can't see them being in the same room with each other. But yeah, does anyone have any thoughts on this in terms of?
No, we don't really know that much. We all have a lot of things we want it to be, but I don't
want it to be.
Okay.
I just don't want it to be. Don't do it. Just don't. Yeah, just don't do it. So just to
make some money
rehash
somehow.
No, but okay. So just to rehash something that me and Sash discussed, right?
Yeah.
Metal Gear. Okay, so we've all played. Apart from obviously, I know Sash has, but have you guys played the first Metal Gear game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not played 4th and 5th. I've played up to 3.
Okay, let me try that. Let me rephrase that. Have you played the Metal Gear before the PlayStation?
Yes.
No.
Okay,
I played on
that's
PlayStation.
Fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Right. So I did as a child, right? Badly, just horribly. But the point is when you play Metal Gear, like the one on the PlayStation, which is arguably the most famous one, the one that shot it into like fucking like fame. When you play that game, like it how do I explain it to you? Does not treat you like a child. They talk about things that reference the older games that if you've played them, cool, then you understand. If you haven't, tough luck. Like, figure it the fuck out. So, like, that's the one thing. So, if you're gonna make a Metal Gear movie, you kind of have to base it off the first one. But then you're already coming into that movie being like, Snake's a badass. They kind of establish it through the codec conversations. But Metal Gear has always been like, it's greater than the sum of its parts, but purely because of the sum of its parts, right? Because of little things like breaking the fourth wall, as Joe said. changing the controller, innovative gameplay. Like if you take Metal Gear on its base storyline, it's actually pretty basic. It's all the other things that make it really interesting, because it's literally just like any other game. It's a series of events that leads to a boss battle that leads to a boss battle that are just very movie orientated, especially with the fight on top of Metal Gear at the end. Spoiler alert for the past 20 years if you haven't played it. But that you fight Metal Gear like very movie like, right? The two twins are fighting at the top and on top of Metal Gear, hand-to-hand combat, shirtless, bombs ticking, and then they get into the fucking truck, and then they got to get out of the truck and blowing in the tunnel, and even then he still doesn't die, and all this bullshit. Like, like how do you put that in a movie? You can't put it in a movie.
That's a Michael Bay film. I'm telling you right now.
It is a Michael Bay. If
you lift the first Metal Gear film game, it's a Michael Bay film. And
but it makes sense now that it makes sense that you don't want a movie out of it. Well, because I never thought making a movie out of what I call Metal Gear simply because you get everything out of the game, right? It is a movie that you are taking part of.
I mean, it's something that the film industry is going to continuously try to adapt, because it's such a there's a market there. There's another market like them.
They really want to tap into it, and the thing is, what the movie industry need to do when it comes to games is that if you want to tap into that market, you have to tap into it not directly taking franchises like Metal Gear, which are so heavily story orientated, and there's so many twists and turns and innovative things that are involved within that universe, not just the story but the gameplay and everything else involved. If you need to do what Sega did, which is take a character, very simple character, and remove him from your universe and put him in another universe, and then boom, done. Perfect, right? Sega did it perfectly with Sonic, right? Whoever did the Sonic, right? For the Paramount, but they did it perfectly, right? They did it the same with Detective Pikachu. You don't need to tell the fucking Pokemon story. You just establish your universe.
It's a natural video game. That story.
Yeah, no, I know it is. But my point is that like I haven't played Detective Pikachu. I know it's a video game, but I never played it. A lot of people didn't play it, right? But you already have an established universe. You know what Pokemon are, and you know that Pokemon exist, and now you're just like telling a bit of a narrative, and you're explaining Pikachu, and boom, there you go. Here's your story, and we're gonna let you evolve through it as you go along. You can't do that with Metal Gear. Metal Gear's way too much going on. Like, and also like, so you got Otacon, okay? So then if you saved Otacon, what happens to Meryl? Like, do you have that love interest story? Is he gonna be like blonde and just fucks her off at the end, or what? Like, that's not true to the story narrative, and that's going to piss a lot of players off, because you're always going to piss somebody off when you make a Metal Gear movie. You can't.
You piss anyone off when you adapt anything. It's you just can't.
Just leave the source. If you have original source material, just leave it alone.
Let me put it this way. When they made Godfather, my mom was pissed off because she loves the book, and when the Godfather 1 came out, and she wondered, what the fuck is this? Simply because Godfather 2 is actually where the book starts.
Right.
Yeah, but so they had to adapt it, obviously, to tell the story. The problem is that, and it's a problem that movies will forever have when they try to adapt the story narrative of a game, is that you're taking 5 to 12 hours worth of gameplay, and you're trying to condense it down to a 2-hour movie, hour and a half movie that's watchable for somebody, for them to get the major plot points, and then off you go. And that's where if you try to approach it like that, every fucking video game movie is going to fail purely based on that. If you tell your own original story based on like a real loose kind of Mortal Kombat, for example, really loose storyline. These people are fighting, Earthrealm, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So they take them, do some Enter the Dragon bullshit, and now we have Mortal Kombat movie. And it's a pretty fucking good movie, right? Street Fighter, what's the narrative of that? Street Fighter 2, anybody tell me what the storyline of Street Fighter 2 is?
Tournament.
I don't remember.
Fighting tournament. Guys fight.
Tournament. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So what do? They create a little bit of a storyline based on that, and Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme is a fucking badass movie. And then when they tried to tell a deeper story, what did they do? They fucked it up, and they made the fucking Legend of Chun-Li. So, do you know what I mean? Like, they try to add extra shit. This is Metal Gear. Don't add extra shit. Just don't make it. It's not going to be worth your time. You're going to waste your money. I really wish somebody from Hollywood would watch this and go, man, this guy has a really good fucking idea. We're not going to make this movie because it's going to be a waste of time.
Do you think? Are you afraid of what's going to happen to it? Is what happened to Assassin's Creed?
No.
And then, do you know how
this
much?
is in good hands.
I didn't even watch Assassin's Creed. You know why? Because fuck that movie. Because fuck that franchise.
Dude, I love Assassin's Creed, but that movie was.
That's okay.
Shit.
It's all right. You're allowed to be wrong. It's not a problem.
I don't know anything about Assassin's Creed, but I watched that film with a buddy of mine who's a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and we saw it like opening day. Wow, that film was shit. I thought it was bad as a film, and my mate was mortified, man. Saying that.
So why? Because Assassin's Creed it's like, look, listen, I know enough about the Assassin's Creed, Templars, time travel, blah 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 blah. It's like it's a fucking massive story that's told across multiple games of multiple hours, and you're like, hey, we're just gonna make this.
We shove everything into one.
Like, we're gonna condense it. We're gonna like. The moment you start condensing things is when you start taking shit out. When you start taking shit out, all of a sudden it's not the same. You cannot tell. Just telling the story, like, put it this way. Like, everything built up to Metal Gear Solid, the game, prior to that, and all the games after that were remakes and shit, were just basically trying to tell the story of how much of a badass fucking Snake is. That's it. Yeah. Why is Snake in Metal Gear Solid world-renowned badass? Because he comes from this pedigree in fucking Snake Eater and all the other previous Metal Gears. And you're like, oh, that's who Big Boss is. You know how many times they say Big Boss? If you don't know who the fuck Big Boss is, and you're playing Metal Gear, the first PSX, right? You're going, who the fuck is Big Boss? Why is his name Big Boss? That's a gay name. What? Sniper Wolf? What? It's dumb. It's dumb. Don't do it. Anyway, I'm done. That's my
Well, look, I trust. I've seen Robert talk about this one. I'm talking in first person, like I know him. I've seen him talk about it. I've seen him talk about it with Kojima. Kojima's been in the same, and Del Toro have been in the same room. Guillermo del Toro, that is, been in the same room talking about it, and he knows enough about the lore in order to know that it's hard enough to adapt. It's really hard to adapt. So, I mean, they've been circling this for the past 3 years. So, if there's something more concrete now, that means that Kojima's actually likes what's been written, and there's some kind of story element there. So
yeah, that doesn't mean shit because Frank Miller thought there was a great storyline to The Spirit, and they gave him the fucking free reins of his own content. Yeah, so my guy was like, they were like, we're gonna let you direct a film that you wrote with your own content. You can condense it in which way you want because you wrote the fucking thing, because you had it hit with 300 in Sin City. So we're just gonna let you fucking take the reins on this shit. And he's like, okay, and then he fucking did it, and it was just abominable.
Well, luckily Kojima and Guillermo and I don't know about Voight Roberts, but they're very intelligent guys. I like Silent.
That's right. But even stupid people make dumb mistakes. This is what I'm saying. That don't just count your laurels.
Smart people.
Well, it's got Kojima and it's got this. How many movies have we come across in our lifetime that have such a fantastic pedigree and then they're just shit? And you're
I like to go back to this podcast a few years ago where I was sucking Ryan Johnson's dick. I think my exact words were, "This guy has never made a shit movie. The Star Wars movie is going to be lit. It's going to be the greatest Star Wars movie ever made." And boy, was I wrong. Boy, if that, out of all the things that I could be wrong about, there's only one thing I didn't want to be wrong about, and that was Star Wars. And you know what, boy, that film was fucking waste. All right, I'm not going to go there, but that's a good example.
Well,
he's
got this, so it's a good example. It's a good example.
Well,
we'll have to see when more gets solidified.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that right now, I'd like to just clarify that I think it's a bad idea. I don't think Hollywood should do it. I think it's too much involved. It doesn't really matter who the fuck is involved in it, because whether Kojima or Guillermo del Toro and his fucking freaky hands and eyes bullshit that he wants to do, I'm not buying it, because until the movie's made and it's out and I've watched it, and then if they do it, then I'm telling you now, it's a bad idea. It's going to suck. It's going to be a bad movie. It's not going to be good. Too much there.
Okay, so bad movie aside, what's your thoughts on Oscar Isaac?
I mean, who else were you going to pick? Because
loads. Who's the guy who played Wolverine?
Mate, do you know what? You know who would have been perfect looks wise?
Wolverine.
Yeah.
No, not Wolverine.
30 years ago.
Not Clint Eastwood's son.
Scott Eastwood, yeah.
That's
Totally.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
And then you could get Clint in as Old Snake or as Solidus.
Isn't that who he is now anyway?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you know? I really hope.
Go on.
I really hope they don't adapt parts of Metal Gear 2 because some of it is absurd.
The whole thing is absurd. Are you crazy? The whole if you take Metal Gear and just wrote it down on paper, and somebody was like, "Why it just sounds like a fever dream." It does. It just sounds like a soldier's PTSD fever dream. He's
whatever happened to your trailer for Metal Gear? You did a trailer for Metal Gear ages ago. You put it online when you were first starting out, learning how to edit and stuff. Yeah. Is that still online for people to see, or
it was never online?
You had it online on YouTube, on your YouTube at one point.
I had it on Vimeo, but that was for my portfolio, but I took it down.
Okay.
I did one for 5 that was for a website, but again, the just looking at the quality of that first one I did, it's when you look back at your work, you think, this is really great, and then you look back at it when you're good. So wow,
I thought it was quite good.
It's fine. Okay. It's all right. But I'm just heavily judgmental. When I know there's a standard of doing something and you can see all your mistakes. I'm divorcing myself from this.
How do you think I feel, Joe? I edit things for fun and they come out shit.
Nah, your drawings are good, man.
No. Those videos I did. Do you remember?
What videos?
Remember I did like a dance one. Bro, I sent them to you. There was like a Back to the Future one I did.
No, those are good,
dancing.
dude. Those are good. No, they're good.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
No, that's what I mean. So I'm saying, like, how did the guy feel when I look back at you? I'm like, I could do better if I had the stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, that's well, yeah. I still have it, but I just haven't. I haven't put it anywhere because I don't think it's necessary to put anywhere. Because I think it's all right. I don't think it's great. But yeah. Anyway, Metal Gear's coming whether we like it or not.
No. It might not though. You might not. It might not.
No,
it might not have the money. The budget might fall through.
No, they've got the budget.
But I mean,
it doesn't.
I don't know. For me, I mean, like Oscar Isaac, he wasn't my first choice, but he's a solid choice, pun intended. By what I hear, he lobbied for the role because he's a huge fan. He said he was a huge fan before, like years before it was a thing. I remember like he was on IGN one time and he was saying it was one of the greatest games he's ever played in his life. So I believe he really did lobby for it. And my concern is, okay, I could see him play Solid Snake, but I don't really see him as Liquid for some reason. But, because he lobbied it and I know he's a fan of the lore and stuff, so maybe, I believe he'll probably work towards making that, a believable.
Do you know what? It's him playing Liquid is the least of my problems. They need to get the right Revolver Ocelot.
Yeah, true.
He is the centerpiece of that whole saga.
Yeah.
If they don't get him right, fuck that movie.
Well, that's just it. You need someone...
I know an Irishman who likes to throw guns around.
Huh?
And his name, I know an Irishman who likes to throw guns around, and he doesn't like to change his accent. And his name is Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson rhymes with Liam Neeson.
I don't know. I've got my own mind who would play Revolver, but
yeah, same. I mean, you know what? For ages, I thought Hugh Jackman would have been the perfect Snake.
Yeah,
back in the day,
he looks apart.
Because,
even now, he looks apart.
Yeah, even now.
He's the same age as Snake.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's like the perfect age kind of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, Hugh Jackman missed out. This is the problem with Hugh Jackman and his career, is that so many things were like, Hugh Jackman's perfect for that. Hugh Jackman's perfect for this. Hugh Jackman would have been perfect for many things. Instead, he does some fucking Les Mis. Like,
yeah, but
that's his passion.
That's his passion, man. Musicals.
No, I get that. I understand. I get that. He's obviously a millionaire. He doesn't give a shit. The point is that we missed out on so many good possible roles that fucking Hugh Jackman could have played. And I think basically fuck Hugh Jackman for being selfish and not giving the world what he should have given us, which is the roles that we wanted him to play.
he's not a trained monkey, is he?
That's the game.
You go play this now.
No, listen. When you're an actor, that's the game, bro. That's the game. You gotta be in it. You know who I'd like to see is maybe like an older Frank Grillo.
I could see that.
I'm lost.
Do you know who Frank Grillo is?
Grillo.
You ever seen Boss Level? Okay,
which is a sick film, by the way.
Sick film, by the way. You'd love Boss Level. Okay, so do you remember in The Winter Soldier, the scene where he's like mates
guy that plays Crossbones?
That guy.
Kinda.
Oh, he's got like short black hair, and he says to Cap, he's like the other guy who's with Cap right at the beginning of Winter Soldier.
Is that the one that gets disintegrated in the like Winter Soldier or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Does he get disintegrated?
Yeah, something bad happens to him.
That guy.
Right. Gotcha.
That guy, yeah, he's awesome. That guy's wicked.
He's awesome. He's been in so many things that I like,
bro. You need to watch Boss Level. Right,
I got it. It's on my list. I'm gonna watch it.
Be about that life, bro. That film. I watched it and told Sacha about it, and I'm like, that film, fucking awesome.
And then I saw it, and then I was like, everyone needs to see this freaking film. And you know what? It is actually, it's my second favorite film of the year because at the moment, top dog, swear to God, The Gentleman, such a good film, man.
Is that 2020?
Yeah, that's 2020.
That was January 2020.
January 2020.
Wow. Just right
Such
on the
a good film, man.
Sacha's list.
Such a good film. It's like Guy Ritchie back to form. You know what? The Gentleman makes me forgive him for all the shit movies he's put out, in years. It's like I understand why you did Aladdin, man. Because no one
did he do Aladdin?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did Aladdin.
Look, Aladdin.
Will Smith.
Aladdin. Guy Ritchie was just chilling because quite clearly he was just counting the money. You know what I mean? He was counting the money and writing the script for The Gentleman.
That reminds me of that scene.
Correct.
What's that? Who directed Good Will Hunting?
Oh yeah. Gus Van Sant. Yeah, Dogma. Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Jane Silent Bob, and he's like, "Action, Gus." Action. He's like, "I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy." And he's just counting money. He's like, "I'm busy, Ben. I told you, I'm busy."
We should move on because we.
You know what irritates me about this? The Gentleman thing. Sorry, I've cut you in.
No,
but they keep on talking about what's it called? Hugh Grant. No, is it Hugh Grant? No.
Oh, Hugh Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Grant. So Hugh Grant. So Hugh Grant
steals the show.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's in the show called The Undoing right now, and they keep on talking about the TV show he did on the BBC. That changed his career and he's moved on, and no one talks about The Gentleman. It's like, oh, look at Hugh Grant in this Undoing. He changed his ways and the way he's been acting since that TV show he did on BBC, and now it's this. It's like, dudes, you're missing Gentleman there. I mean, he is an absolute asshole in that thing, and it does very well.
It's not even that he's an asshole. It's
I mean, it does it very well.
He's actually acting. Actually, it's a completely different persona. You look at him and you're just like, oh my God, he's actually knocking it out the park in that film. And like, who's the guy? There's a guy that's in everything. That's in Sons of Anarchy. What's his name? He was in King Arthur.
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, man.
Yeah.
Fucking G in that film, man. But he's been in other stuff and I've seen him in and I'm like, cool, Charlie Hunnam, don't really care, to be honest. Like, I've never seen Sons of Anarchy, so I don't get the whole Jax thing.
Neither have I, yeah.
I've got a buddy of mine who's like big into that and I'm just like, all right,
whatever, I know who that is.
I'm like, all right, whatever, mate. But then, like, you know what? The Gentleman, that's probably the best thing he's ever been in. Hands down. It's such a good film. I need to rewatch it. I like Colin Farrell in that.
He's really good on that
Coach.
Colin Farrell is so underrated.
Oh yeah,
the thing is, I can tell you the exact moment his career tipped off, and it was in Daredevil.
Why
Alexander?
No. He was no.
That was still the beginning.
No, that was the falling star. It started because he did Daredevil, and ever since then he's just been tainted by that forever. I promise you, if he could remove one movie from his portfolio, it would be Daredevil.
Anyway, Joe, what were you talking about before I cut you off?
I don't know. I don't think so. Wait,
Joe Rogan was trying to move us on. You know, right, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, because we're on the second topic and we've been talking for nearly an hour and a half. So
well, no, because like Miami Vice was shortly afterwards. Okay, he did do a shit film with Alexandra. But then you got in Bruges.
Parody?
No, Alexander, you know Alexander the Great.
Alexander.
Yeah. He's making fact that you said Alexandra instead of Alexander.
Oh, okay. But yeah, after Alexander, you've got Miami Vice. That was all right. You got Cassandra Dream. That was a good indie. You got In Bruges. In Bruges is fantastic, man.
In Bruges, I'll give you. Miami Vice is not a good film.
No, In Bruges was amazing.
I enjoyed Miami Vice, and then he kind of went underground a bit with like a whole load of indies that no one really ever saw, and then
like the lobster and the deer or something.
Then he did Horrible Bosses. That was a huge hit, and then the fake Total Recall. Oh god, that was bad. But then Seven Psychopaths. That was great.
But I'll tell you what, Kate Beckinsale was a smoke show in that movie. She's a smoke show and everything.
Oh yeah, totally.
She is.
Okay, so moving on.
That's a good point. That's a good ending point there. Kate Beckinsale, smoke show.
Steven Soderbergh, is that what we're talking about now?
Yeah, so Steven Soderbergh, he's got the rights back to like 6 of his independent films that, like, you know, I haven't seen any of these films, but like what's that? Kafka, Schizopolis, and Full Frontal, and then there's 3 more as well. And he's got the rights back for them. He's remastering them in 4K for all those Soderbergh fans. I know Joe's a big Soderbergh fan, so that's why I put it in there. Yep. But yeah, he's doing a limited edition box set to try and remarket it and stuff, and he's given it the whole 4K treatment for all these films.
I guarantee you now, guys, all the directors that have put their stamp on particular films, that's how they're going to make their side money. They're going to make 4K discs, shine it up real nice, and sell it to us, and sell it to people that still care about that type of media.
They'll put them on the streaming service as well.
Oh yeah, they will. Income. They will, but they'll still.
They've started already. It's all starting now.
I know.
What's that in your hand?
It's Monster City. Monster City. Oh, Wicked City.
No. Wicked City, dude. Yeah.
No, it's both. It's both of them.
Oh shit!
Demon City and City.
Isn't it missing one?
No,
it's Demon City Shinjuku, which is actually Monster City because that's what they called it here, and then it's Wicked City. But my point is, yes, Joe's right. They're doing that now.
Yeah.
My friend works at HMV, and he said that their 4K stuff sells more than anything else.
Ask you a question: is your friend a time traveler?
No, he's a manager. He's a marketing manager at HMV.
Wow.
They have an online business now. They don't have any. They have one store, I think.
No, they've got 3 stores. They've got 3 stores in London. I understand what they do now to stay afloat. They market to people that actually like the stuff, and so this is why you don't see any adverts or TVs. That it's all kind of marketed towards. They do a lot of stuff on Twitter. And whatnot.
Bro, I only found this out because HMV marketed to me.
Oh, there you go.
Through Facebook. Yeah, HMV marketed me through Facebook, and then I bought it from them, but their fulfillment was really shit, so I cancelled my order.
Fair enough.
I cancelled my order and bought it from Amazon because I can get it the next day.
Right, gotcha. Well, anyway, they're still around, and they make a lot of money from they released the 5th Element back in August, and that's done really well for them. So I think that's what Soderbergh's doing is what a lot of directors will be doing now. They'll be going back through the back catalogue and 4King them up, new soundtrack, and just sell it direct to us.
The last like the last 3-4 months on Amazon all the old films that made the return of the 4K, and I've been watching them as well. I mean, I haven't bought any of them, but I've been watching them. So yeah, I mean, it not only tracks, I think. Yeah. Because I was looking at this listings, I'm looking at the names of the thing. Only 2 of them were actually listed as, been given good ratings, whereas the other couple of them that are mentioned in the list have been rated pretty badly. So I have no idea if he'll go for all of them. He probably might. But
it depends how much of a fan you are of that particular thing. I think it's either right.
Well, they're doing it with, Lord of the Rings are doing it as well. They're releasing what's really annoyed me, to be honest, because I'm like, I own it. I own all 6 extended cuts on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I own them all digitally on fucking iTunes. I own them on DVD.
It's a better cut. It's from what we had this discussion the other day, Sach.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's
because he's personally gone through the master and they've regraded it as well. Completely.
They've redone the CG as well.
They've redone the CG as well because basically, when I say redone the CG, as in re-rendered them. So basically, for those that don't know, I've been educated by Joe on this, but correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Back in the early 2000s, when they did CGI, they'd do it in 2K. They'd render it in 2K. They still do it now. And unless it's filmed on film, you could do stuff infinitely with film. You can make it 4K. You can make it 8K. Maybe you could, with how you transfer
scale from film. You can infinitely scale upwards.
Yeah. So on digital, you can't do so much. But with the Lord of the Rings, because obviously it was 2K with the special effects. Whenever you have a 4K transfer and the effects are still in that 2K-ness, they're gonna stick out a little bit more like a Thor sum. And that's why whenever you get like some of these like DVDs and stuff, sure, it's 4K, but the effects look a little bit ropey than how you remember it. So Peter Jackson has taken an extra effort because his company have all the raw files and all the raw assets. So he was
Weta, is it?
Yeah, Weta. So basically he was like, cool. So they got all the raw assets and they re-rendered them, but upscaled them to 4K, and you're just going to get the best version of all 6 movies ever possible. So
until the 8K version.
But I don't want to buy another version, dude. I've already got 2.
You won't be seeing any 8K discs ever, or any 8K footage. Do you know how much bandwidth 8K takes up? Do you know how much bandwidth 4K takes up? What you guys are getting isn't real 4K, by the way. I'm just letting you know that now.
Yeah, no, I know.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't own the Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray because I had the extended cuts originally back in the day on DVD. But
so do I. See, I haven't bought on Blu-ray.
I really want this 4K set, and I'm
gonna
wait.
The only reason I'm not gonna buy it, though. The only reason I'm not gonna buy it
because you bought it already.
Well, if I give it to you,
no.
If I give it to you,
you had enough of it.
Well, if you give it to me, that's different, but I won't buy it.
It's like I'm just reversing what you said to me about Netflix.
No. There's a reason why, and there's a reason why, because fuck getting up halfway through that movie.
Oh right, putting the disc in
and putting the other disc in. What's this? 1995.
I'll tell you what, if I get the box set,
they're coming on 2 discs each.
Yeah. But then you could just get the digital version, isn't it?
There's extended.
That's what I have. I have the digital extended version on iTunes, but that's only in. Oh, I'll tell you what it's in. Hold on.
It's probably just HD-ish.
Yeah, it's. I know the resolution it's in, but it's full. It's not 4K, but it is. It's closer to 4K than it is 2K.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna wait till the summer when they've got the 60.
It's just HD.
That's what I told you. Bud.
Hold on, I think it's just HD.
Yeah, I told you, man.
Yeah, I think it's just in HD. Oh no. 4K. So that's what. So I'm just gonna show you the one I've got for the Two Towers because it's in front of me now. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Cool. Yeah,
cool.
I gotcha.
So it's 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. That'll do. I don't need to. I don't need the. That's what it came in. But I already own all of them, so in my head I'm like, yeah.
That might even upgrade you if you already owned them, I don't know how iTunes works, but if those newer versions end up on iTunes, they'll probably just upgrade you.
Maybe it doesn't really make that much of a difference to me, to be honest. Because I'm not. I promise you, it doesn't. I promise you, it doesn't.
Makes a huge difference.
Bro, I watched them in the cinema. I watched them in the cinema in their original shit quality. So in Park Royal, and yeah, sure.
That was your that was your first mistake, dude. Park Royal. That was your first mistake.
No, it wasn't. No, you're incorrect. I'll tell you why. I was the only person in that cinema when the Fellowship of the Ring came out. Nobody, literally, my mum took me there. She was like, it was early 2000s. And my mum was like, we're going to go watch cinema. What do you guys want to watch? And my sister was like, I want to watch Princess Diaries. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings. Because I read Lord of the Rings in school. So I was like, I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings. They're making the first one. And I sat there and made those cunts, yes, cunts, I made those cunts wait because their film finished and there's another hour and a half worth of my fucking movie. So I'm just going to sit here and sat there for 3 hours and then cunts had to wait in the arcade next door. The point is that I've seen that film in its lowest possible quality and I've seen it in all the variable iterations apart from the 4K Ultra HD thing, but I'll live. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you will. I mean,
it's still a fucking great movie.
It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
Lord of the Rings.
It's like, let me put it this way.
That's the trilogy.
And sometimes it's just, you just leave it behind. Like, I still like watching the original Star Wars on tape because when I saw them on the HD version, they look so stupid. I mean,
really? I thought they just looked stupid.
You haven't seen the latest Disney Plus version with the McClunky.
The original one was stupid anyway, but I accepted it as a child.
No, I mean, just generally, Star Wars, stupid.
Yeah. I wish I made something that stupid and be a billionaire. I'll be laughing right now.
Listen, it's okay. All I'm saying is, as somebody who does not like Star Wars franchise,
dude, I only like the first three and the Mandalorian. Everything else can go and fucking hell.
Yeah, people keep talking. Is that what you keep writing about on every other week? You write.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
This is the way.
Yeah,
that's not me. That's on me. That's
this is the way.
Bunch of slack-jawed faggots, man. I was like,
this is the way.
Every time, bro.
Yeah, well, expect it every Friday. That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, until it comes out every Thursday.
It's done.
You're like, fuck.
I'm gonna block you, man.
Let me irritate you more. Who watched the last episode? Did you guys?
Oh man, it was so good. It was so good. So good. Oh,
anyway, let's move on. Jeremy Irons.
Anyway, guys, real quick. I'm going to go because it is 10:30 here, and I need to eat my dinner, something of which I have not done yet.
I haven't even ordered my dinner yet,
and I need to go to bed. But I hope the rest of this podcast is fantastic. I'm going to love and leave all of you. And then hopefully, actually, this might move quite quickly once I'm gone. So you guys will be done in 10 minutes. I'm gonna head out. But much love to the Zedos gang, everybody who's all three people who watch this. Much love to everybody. And guys, Joe, Sol, Sash, love you loads. Be safe.
See you later, buddy. Bye.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye.
Right, okay, Jeremy Irons.
And Gucky. I'm in Gucci.
So Jeremy Irons has joined the cast of Gucci, and Lady Gaga has also joined the cast of Gucci, which has been directed by Ridley Scott. Thoughts on the Gucci movie? You know what? This movie has literally been like over 10 years in development. Like over 10 years, because I have a friend that used to work for Ridley Scott. She used to be a set designer on both Prometheus and Robin Hood. And because Ridley Scott uses the same crew more or less all the time. And I remember when she just did, before she got the Prometheus gig, she just done Robin Hood. That was her first film she ever worked on. And she was talking about how they wanted her for Gucci. And that was going to be the next thing that he directed, but there's going to be a gap. And she managed to work on X-Men First Class in between productions. And then obviously his next movie wasn't Gucci. It ended up being Prometheus. So this has been something that he's been on for quite a while, and I also see that he's also one of the script writers on it, which kind of surprised me because Scott doesn't really usually script write. So, seems to be quite a passion project for him. But the movie's about like, you know, how he died and the mystery surrounding it and stuff. So I think it's kind of like a detective film or something. So yeah.
Well, it could be something like what they did with the American Crime Stories with Versace. Could be that.
Yeah.
Except in movie form.
I never saw that, the American Crime Story. They might, maybe. I mean,
the first season was O.J. Simpson. The second season was Versace.
Right. So it's like American Horror Story, but it's American
exactly.
Crime Story. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, anything usually Ridley Scott does gets attention. So.
Well, Raised by Wolves was brilliant.
Yeah.
Was it good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
What is that on Amazon?
No, it's on
HBO Max.
Okay. So Sky.
Sky. Yeah.
Sky. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's very intelligent sci-fi though, in terms of
Yeah.
It's got its stamp all over it. It's not a stupid TV show.
No, not at all. It's not like that. I love not only the pace, which I found really interesting for the fact that Ridley Scott hasn't done TV. Has he done TV? I don't know if he has.
The only thing he's made is he usually does adverts. That's how we start off. So I guess, technically he has done TV.
Brilliantly done. So no complaints there. But waiting for the next season to come. It's not going to show up for another year, is it? I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a while.
Anyway, a long time. What's our next topic?
Go on, Gucci, I think will be similar to All the Money in the World in terms of its drama. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but
no, I missed that one. But
yeah,
I heard
so did I.
That's really good. In terms of how quickly you turned that film around.
That's right.
Yeah, with Kevin Spacey getting kicked out.
Yeah, he turned that film around quick. I admire that guy so much, but okay, green screen, boom, 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 done.
Well, that was the thing because it was so much in the news, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch it when it comes out. And when it came out, I completely missed it until I saw it on DVD. I'm like, shit, it's already been out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people missed it, but it's. Yeah. I mean, it holds up to its merits. It's a good film, so whoever discovers it, they're in for a treat. If that story is heartbreaking, if that's how ruthless that Getty guy was. But yeah, I assume that this film will have a similar vibe.
But think about it: his companies still are as, ruthless as he was.
I guess so, but I mean,
if you look at their business practices, they're pretty ruthless, dude.
I mean, as Getty was, the way he was portrayed by Christopher Plummer, he was ruthless. he just my grandson's gone. Oh well, that's that. I don't care. That's literally what he was saying. Anyway, I think this film will be very similar in terms of in that mold. It's dramatic, but that's all I can say about it. Adding Jeremy Irons to it is quality. So yeah, we'll see. There's not much that can be said about it, really.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
So Matthew Vaughn has put into production 7 more Kingsmen films are planned, basically.
Can they go back to the beginning before a major character died and it was brought back, because that character was quality. I'm trying very clearly not to spoil any of the films, but I really like a particular character in it, and I think he should be in all of them.
I mean, if they're gonna have that character, the next 3, the prequels, as they say, is that what you said, right, Sash?
No. They've just said they're doing
7 more.
7, but they're planning.
Oh no!
7
Sorry,
more.
I read an article.
The next film's a prequel.
Next film's a prequel, and the film after that will be the 3rd one in the current series with.
Right. Because it also said that a couple of them may be spin-offs as well.
Yeah, potentially. I know there's a TV show in development as well. And it's all being done by Matthew Vaughn. He's he's basically, it's like his thing basically. So
it's his X-Men.
Yeah. Because well, that's the thing. They're based on comic books. They're based on a series of comic books written by Mark Millar, who's also a producer and scriptwriter of. I think he's one of the scriptwriters of the films, and obviously they're just expanding the brand basically. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the Kingsman film. I was quite intrigued to see the prequel one this year, but it didn't happen. But we'll see what happens. It's just, you know, I guess they're in good with Disney because obviously this franchise was under Fox. So the fact that, you know, they're plowing ahead with it shows that Disney are actually making some actual big moves with actual Fox franchises and properties. So we'll see how that comes out. I'm assuming it's going to be under the 20th Century Studios banner. So yeah, I liked Kingsman. I want more. I know a lot of people were disappointed with the second movie, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I was like, more of the same. Cool. You know, when you watch something,
it was a bit Hollywood, the second film.
Oh yeah,
if you know what I mean.
It wasn't like the first one. The first one had an edge to it. The second one felt, it felt like Mission Impossible 2 to me. The second film.
The second one, yeah, I get what you mean. It kind of felt like it was the cameo movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh, look at Channing Tatum. Oh, look at Halle Berry. Oh, look at who else was in there. There's so many people in there.
Pablo
it was
Pascal.
One of those things. Yeah. I mean, they're great. They came in and they put, you know, mark on the film. But it felt like Hollywood in the sense that somehow you felt like certain things were made just to do certain things rather than being part of the movie, just to show something. That's it.
There's almost like a Warner Brothers cartoon in terms of hey, look over here while we're doing this because this character has to do this later on, and this is how everything's going to be resolved. And it's fine. I mean, it's a competent action film, but I expected better because of the first film. So it wasn't exactly. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I will watch the Kingsman because it looks good. So I'll always trust. Matthew Vaughn did First Class, which I think is quite quality. So I will take my hat off to him to that. So throw more of that at me. What's next?
Yeah. Peter Dinklage is the star in the Toxic Avenger reboot. So it looks like Hollywood's looking to cash in on trauma movies.
But he's going to be the monster, right?
You would think so.
No, but that's what it says on the publication that I've read. And I kept on thinking, that sounds so bad in this day of age. Because, I mean, the last dude, the original film, the guy had a whole lot of prosthetics going on, right? They made him look deformed. Peter Dinklage is already what it call. He's a small guy.
Yeah.
Are they gonna? I mean, this is like compounding social trauma norms and then doing something on top. Oh, I wonder how they're gonna pull it off. I hope nobody really. It could be a, let's say, political correctness nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm surprised they're even thinking about rebooting this IP.
I think you know what I'm thinking. As soon as it said Peter Dinklage is going to be in this, and it's a funny film, and it reminded me of Death on a Funeral.
Yeah,
Peter Dinklage literally being used to be as that, the body being thrown around all over the place. I mean, that film gets, every time I watch it, I cannot stop laughing. I love that film, the original one, not the poor American remake, because it was literally remade word for word, which was not a cool thing. Anyway, but the way they treated Peter Dinklage, even though as a a short person he is, they still, they respected that. They did not treat him any different at all. Just simply pulled the jokes, the spastic comedy out of it, and it was brilliant. And I wonder if they're going to do something like that. If they do it, then that'll be cool, as long as there's respect there.
Well, I don't know how I feel about the Toxic Avenger. I have no affinity to it, to be honest. I didn't grow up with it. I know of it. I just didn't grow up with it. So if it's a good film, I'll watch it.
I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was young, did because it's rated R, and I watched it at my buddy's place, And you knew why it was rated R because there was a lot of topless women in that film. That's all I remember. I literally remember tits. That's all I remember, and that's probably I mean, I was what? Probably 12, 14, 13 years old. You know what I mean? So you just go like, what the? Whoa.
That's an impressionable age.
Oh, very. It's like, breaking puberty that time. That was the age. But as far as I remember, the film wasn't all that. But I haven't seen it since
it came
the early 90s. You know what I mean? Like probably 92.
Yeah, I don't know who. I mean, I guess they can fit. This film can fit anyone's narrative to the way they market it, but I don't know who this is for.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is still riding high from Game of Thrones, so people know who he is. So, I guess we'll see. I don't really have much to say about it other than that. What about you, Saj?
Yeah, it's a weird IP to bring back, especially in the Me Too kind of era as well. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is this low budget? Is this a big budget reboot, retooling that they're going to mass market to everyone? Because these films were a certain kind of audience, you know what I mean? And I don't really see it having mass market appeal, to be quite honest. Without diluting it and having it become something different that isn't what the product is in the first place. You know what I mean? I kind of think it's a product of its time. There's some films that just leave it back in the 80s, mate. Like, no one's asking for this. You know what I mean? There's so many.
No one's asking for any film, though.
Yeah, true.
No, I mean, I've been moaning about this fact that we keep on making the same films again and again. I mean, not same films, but literally are making the same fucking film.
Yeah.
And on top of this particular, you're right about this, speaking of the time thing. This
like
film,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, fuck's sake. Well, we did it twice in the last decade and a half. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
We haven't given it time. But that said, this film, I mean, it was a lot really crass. It was vulgar with no reason whatsoever. Not even comedic reason, It was I think, literally done to get people to come and look at the film. That's it. And that said, I mean, that's another thing. Until I read the show notes, I had forgotten this film. The way I remembered it is when I looked at the poster and went, oh, I have seen this. And the only reason I remembered it is because I remember at that time Steven Spielberg did the Goonies film, and the poor chap in that had the same prosthetic on. And I remember watching this film with the same prosthetic on. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's weird.
It looks almost identical to it, by the way. I'm not sure if the same people made the prosthetic or it is the same prosthetic being used by two different actors.
Yeah. Well, anyway, whatever to do with this franchise, I'm sure. Who's greenlighted this? Is it Sony?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure who's greenlighted this. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm sure we'll hear more.
Probably.
What's next?
Okay, next up. The Russo brothers are talking. We're talking more about the Extraction sequels and potential spin-off movies and stuff. They're looking at building a universe with like their action films that they produce under their banner. They're more into, if you've seen their films outside of the Avengers that have been coming out the later past last year and this year, they're all action thrillers that you'd expect from the 1990s, which is kind of what they're going for.
I love those.
In Extraction, who's the guy from Stranger Things that's in the upcoming Black Widow movie that was Hellboy? David Harbour. David Harbour plays a character in Extraction, and they're talking about doing a spin-off movie revolving around
He's a baddie in that, isn't he?
Kind of. I wouldn't say he was a full-on bad guy.
No.
In that one. His
has
character,
Joe seen this film?
No,
he's seen this film.
Joe hasn't seen it.
This is a Netflix film, isn't it?
But yeah, basically what they're trying to do with Extraction and all these movies is kind of do a Marvel-like universe with them and have them connect and stuff in a world of action and espionage and stuff. So I think that's cool. I mean, yeah, other things are doing it, but I think the Russos have a good track record for action, and Extraction was a very strong entry to the series, and I liked Chris Helmsworth in that role, and I would watch a sequel. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with sequels and spin-offs, but that's just my point of view. How did you feel about Extraction, Sal? And Joe, like, I know you haven't seen Extraction. How do you feel about them tackling the Russos doing their thing, basically?
I'll let Sol answer first.
Well, I sort of share your feelings regarding movies on streaming services, but I've noticed that Amazon does good films because they put it on cinema and then come on Amazon, or Netflix just puts them on. But these days they have put on.
They have.
I think there's literally a handful of films on Netflix that I like. Extraction is one of them. Old Guard is the other one, and there are 3 more other ones that I've liked. And Extraction was actually I really liked simply because it was done not only properly, but it was done differently. The idea of thriller, the way it's been done, that's been done so many times. But instead of filming it in America, they went and filmed in Bangladesh. They used Bengali actors. Did not bring in American actors or pretending to be Bangladeshi or are Bangladeshi descendant or heritage. Actual actors from there. I don't know if they got the crew from there. I doubt it because it was done very, very well. Maybe they have brilliant crews there, God knows, because I just don't know. That said, great film. No story whatsoever. It was a full-on episode of this is happening right now, and that's it, So in that view, because it was so intriguing and a lot of fun, just watching things blow and things moving fast, actors, very good actors, nothing oversaid, no overacting, no stupid dialogues. Only things that need to be said were being said. There's a great potential in this. As long as the budgets are controlled and as long as they do it like this, something that is different, not like, old school by bringing it just back in like the middle of Seattle, things are happening, or taking it back to the Arab states or taking it back to Russia. Forget Russia, forget it. Bring it to new countries, new cultures. Then people will definitely like it. Not only people.
You know what? That's a good point because I think setting it in India did give the movie a certain kind of character to it, and
exactly.
on top of that, the cinematography was fantastic. It's on that the guy they got is on par with David Leitch and the John Wick guys in a very different way, if that makes sense. And the thing is, the director of Extraction, he was a stuntman himself. You know what I mean? He did fight choreography and racing cars and stuff and all kinds of stuff. And 9 times out of 10, he'd get the camera, he'd be on the bonnet of the car for a lot of the shots and stuff. And it's like that's a actual director doing it, but he did that kind of similar role, as a stuntman and as a action camera unit director. And I think when it comes to action films, I think David Leitch and the other guy, their team, the John Wick team, they really elevated where the action picture should go now, if that makes sense. And these guys have got hired based on that, basically. And you know what, we're seeing action movies in a brand new way again, kind of thing, which from a brand new perspective. So I think Extraction is a very good action movie, very competent action movie, and I loved it.
But there are things about it that you buy quite easily. But see, I may be biased here because I've been to those countries and traveled back and forth. And I know the environment that those countries are and which people usually go there. So seeing an Aussie guy in Bangladesh might seem odd to you. But the thing is, Bangladesh is not that far away from Australia. I mean,
that's right.
Indonesia, every Aussie goes to Indonesia for a party simply because it's literally the next country over. Either you go to New Zealand, or you go to Indonesia, Bali, it's the nearest places you tend to go to. So that sort of interactions between cultures and everything is also something you don't really see day to day, and that's what I enjoyed it. And plus the local actors and they had a lot of the dialogues was in local language as well.
Yeah,
and they have subtitled. And these days we accept that.
Yeah,
it's acceptable to people be speaking in a different language and you just reading the subtitles, not throughout the movie, but at least some part of the movie.
Well, I'll get to my side of it. It's. I don't really have much to say. I mean, if I'm guessing it's to do with viewership. If it got the amount of views that I'm guessing it got, that's why there's a sequel. And the Russo brothers are good directors. They've made the highest grossing film of all time, and so it's a kind of a no-brainer, really. Get those guys to make your sequel. I don't really have much more to say about it than that. I hope the second one's good as well for you guys. Okay. I guess next up is here we go. The dreaded HBO Max and Warner Brothers. So I'll let you take it away, Satch.
Okay, so Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers just announced their upcoming slate for 2021. That's not coming for cinemas, and a lot of these movies are going straight to HBO Max.
No, dude, I read the report. It does not say that. It says it's simultaneously coming out on HBO and the cinemas.
Right, okay.
It says, and the HBO Max is only in the United States, so therefore we can gather that it's only in the United States they'll have HBO Max and cinemas, and everywhere else, cinemas.
Right, okay, so everywhere in the UK will get these movies.
We'll get cinemas, exactly. So it doesn't really change anything for us. It changes people for, things for America. The thing is, most films in states... Okay, let me start with my own, what I call rants, then you guys chime in. So, I have no problem with this, simply because I know for a fact, if we guys keep on want to watch movies, and these guys do a really good job, they need to pay everybody off that they have, gotten money from to make those films. They cannot keep on hold properties and not earn anything from them because they owe money to people, and they owe themselves money as well. I know why people are upset, so I'll get into that in a minute. But that said, going on HBO helps in two things. One, they will probably increase the viewership of that thing because it only has very little viewership. I think they said 8 million. But that said, they will get a set amount of money that they believe they can probably use to break even. That said, for the rest of us, the rest of the world, I mean, cinemas are still there. The movies will still come out there. It'll be slow this year because of the pandemic, and it's not going to come out that quickly. And as long as they don't announce that they're going to be, broadcasting on Sky pay-per-view or something like that, we're okay. And cinema will still run. And they have said that they will only do it with this set of movies. They have not said all the movies in the future. So there is some hope there. When it comes to these guys, the actors and everybody else is moaning and fighting about it. I'm guessing it's probably because they all have inbuilt contracts that whatever the profit is made, they'll get big chunks of the, let's say, the percentage of the profit, or bonuses. Yeah, and they probably relying on it. But that's sorry. Go ahead.
It's just before we started the podcast, it seems that the Screen Actors Guild have not taken this very lightly, and because I think 99% of actors and directors are in that guild. It looks like they're creating a cabala against Warner Brothers at this point, and
I see.
You're going.
I understand what they're going to be trying to push. The thing is, at the same time, these guys are not. Their basic pay is not like measly dollars. They still get paid quite a bit chunk before they go in. The thing is, they all have to. Anybody who complains and moans about it in America, I would just tell them to shut up for a while, simply because most of them, big movies, not small movies, big movies, they tend to get good basic pay. It's let's say the British actors and everybody else, they don't get good basic pay. They rely on both because there's not that much money put in over here. So over here, if somebody complains, that's understandable. Over there, you can simply argue, okay, it's 1 year. You can get away. Everybody at this moment in time is hurting. You can also argue from the studio point of view that they can put those movies in, but they may not make anything back. So if the movies go into the cinemas and not that many people show up and they make a measly amount of money, what I call money, they have to rent out those what I call screens. They have to make sure that, marketing's there. And at the end of the day, the local state government can go, nobody's allowed to go to the seminar here at the moment because, hell, our numbers are crazy. Even if they don't say that, people might themselves choose not to go. It's a bigger risk as well, dude. It's not a small risk. There's never been a massive barrier for your clientele to come to the cinemas. The barrier was always, do they like the trailer to get them intrigued enough to come to the cinemas? You know what I mean? So the argument is a big argument. And I see why for a business they would do this, simply because try to break even means they can make something tomorrow. If they don't break even now, they owe so much. No matter how much you shout that they haven't paid you, they haven't done anything, they won't exist. Which is better?
I mean, I think they should have talked to everyone before they made this decision. Because
True.
I think that's what the argument is about. Before we started the podcast, there was a.
That's the quote from what's his name, the director, Chris Nolan, right?
They didn't tell anyone. They told Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, this is how much you're going to get on the front end before the fact, and now it's they've just Warner Brothers caused a storm. All you had to do was talk. That's all they had to do. That's all that. But I understand what you're saying. I just think the realms of communication have become very interesting in this time we're living through.
I have a feeling the reason why they didn't talk is probably because of the stock market prices.
Right.
They probably wanted the stock to go up rather than go down.
Yeah.
So instead of having a negative, like what Christoph's done, instead of having that at the first news break, they had their own and then allowed people to talk. And if I was there working there, I would have done the same damn thing. Simply because stock market prices also is the same thing. You lose the value of the company. You can't get loans, dude. Nobody's going to give you money.
I guess you can't win really in terms of.
No, it's hard. It's hard.
Just in the sense of where Warner Brothers is at the moment, I thought Sony were in a bad place a few years ago, but I think Warner Brothers is now. Just in terms of, I understand what they're doing, but they've just alienated so many directors and actors. It's going to be very in the next coming months. I think people will come around, but just the way they've done it today is just it's
hard. The thing is, because we're in such an unprecedented time that
survival of the fittest.
It's exactly. I mean, Tenet has made money back, right? But it never did in America.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
And that's the thing. So that's why the Warner Brothers have made this decision. They said they made $50 million. We'll give you $50 million. But the cinemas all around the world are still open, and they're still, not open, but they will be still selling it there. So they've never said that I won't sell it there. And the whole thing is that a lot of times, this is another funny thing. A lot of times, a lot of these actors and directors and everything's work depends on how much money they've made in the local market rather than internationally. And I think that could be the case here. And Warner Brothers should go out of their way and say, look, we'll give you more projects. You will not lose work because your project did not bank here.
I mean, I think it might be their asking price as well. Look, I don't know. I think we're going to need to wait for the coming days and months of what will happen in this. But it's definitely an intriguing situation that Warner Brothers put themselves into.
Let me put it this way. Let's remove ourselves from the entertainment business, go to any other business. So the business I'm working in is sports apparel, right?
Right.
Simply is this, that I work in supply chain and I do a lot of other work and consulting when it comes to business marketing and everything. Everybody right now knows they're not going to make that much money. So they have downsized. People have been fired. I mean, all of that. But and they know that for a fact that the amount of people that originally went and started buying stuff during the small breaks that we had open here and other countries did not help enough to break even in those 3 months.
Yeah.
The sales had jumped up and then completely gone down to the ground. Distributors have disappeared.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were like, "Oh, why is there so much money is being spent on a campaign on a particular product?" And the companies were trying to justify it's like because that's the only product that is making money. Nobody else is buying anything. So if we don't sell this, we won't be able to afford anything at all 6 months down the line, or maybe a year about down the line. And there was another argument that people kept doing. It's like, why are you firing so many people? Why don't you just, put them on, let's say, part-time or, some certain amount of hours. And they said, we could do that, but the problem is a lot of the companies work by having subsidiaries, basically having other offices do more work for them. So they basically have contracts with them. It's like, we can't do that because the contract does not have that in them, let's say, in the terms. So we have to kind of cancel the contracts rather than, lower them. And the same thing, everybody's hurting. So when it comes to these big businesses, especially entertainment business, in the future, nobody's going to be spending $300 million on a budget at least the next year and a half. Right? So no matter how much these guys moan that our salary is going to hurt, a bonus is going to hurt, it's like, well, dude, no one's making that much money, no matter what you do.
Well, yeah, it's a again, as I said, it's a particular situation. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's definitely.
But it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we're living it. We're living it as well. Yeah. So we're definitely going to have some entertainment from this, either or either. Sach, you haven't said anything about this.
Yeah.
No, I think you guys more or less explained everything really. So, yeah. So next up, we have Disney and Hulu to potentially merge.
I mean, they own each other. Disney own them.
Yeah, I know. Reports are saying that they could potentially merge together. Interesting, because there's a lot of adult-rated content on Hulu, and one would assume that would be where they put all their Fox properties on there. But then I guess the other thing is for Disney to grow as a service, maybe they got to put like a disclaimer for adult content on their stuff. But kind of like how Netflix has a kids service, I guess. But it's weird because like I know how when Disney Plus came, it was just going to be strictly like, the brand, and I know they tried to protect that brand quite as they would. But I think this is a positive move for Disney Plus, to be honest, because one, it means extra content. It means we now get everything in one place, and without having to subscribe to some other bollocks.
I don't think they're going to do that.
You don't think so?
I think they're going to treat that as another platform that you're going to have to pay for. It's just another revenue stream.
But isn't that how it is already?
Yeah, and I think they'll keep it that way. I don't think they'll merge the two.
But that's what the report's saying. They're merging. Merging the two.
I read the thing. It sounded like a rumor thing. But the thing is, if they do merge it, it's like there's 37 million in one place and about 60 million plus subscribers on the other place, and they can shove it together. Yes, Netflix does kiddie stuff. Also, Prime. If you as soon as you log in, it's like kids and move that. But if you also look at, does any of you guys have Disney?
I don't.
I do. Yeah.
Right. They have National Geographic on it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly, but that's separate, isn't it?
Yeah.
They could probably do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just have Hulu built in Disney, but showing all of them together will allow them to have all subscribers to go in one place, and they probably raise the price a little bit. That's probably what
Disney about making money. Yeah. So I just can't see them merging Disney Plus with
no. What I mean to say is, if with Disney, when you get Disney Plus, you get National Geographic.
I know what you're saying. I'm just my view is that this company's all about making money. Why would they merge something else that's making money into one thing?
I can tell you why. There's a big reason behind it. It's a big chunk. At this moment in time, all Hulu's licensing and everything is done is only in North America. So once you shove it into Disney Plus, they would work. My guess is they will work to get those licenses to cover all the world,
Right.
and then automatically you will get a massive surge of what I call people joining in because we don't get Hulu stuff here, do we? Yeah. There's another reason behind it as well. It's to you would then get people who watch Hulu to come and watch Disney stuff and vice versa.
A lot of the Hulu stuff comes on Channel 4 because Handmaid's Tale comes on Channel 4. I know that's a Hulu show, and there's another show that's Hulu that comes on Channel. Anyway, I know over here there's it's either Sky or Channel 4 or some other channels that buy up the individual properties, and that's the way it goes. But
it helps us because we watch it for free then.
yeah, exactly. And so in just in my world, it's like so how many more things do I have to get? How many other places do I have to go to watch everything?
I know,
I
man.
Watch? It's becoming ridiculous.
I know, and there's another thing. When people were thinking, dude, everybody's gonna come out with their own streaming service, I know for a fact, dude, when you started fully diluting this market, not everybody can afford everything. You cannot have 10 streaming services that everybody would call join and have cable and have other things like sports package. It's unbelievable. By the way, in America, it's very normal. But when it comes to, let's say, everywhere else in the world, it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody pays extra money for channels. Mm-hmm. They'll go, is it in the packet? No. Then why is it not there? I want a packet that has it in. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the Middle East, they'll say these are 3 different packets. They'll sell that or all packets. In the UK, we have the same damn thing. Mm-hmm. In America, if you want NFL, completely different. You want NBA, different. Mm-hmm. So with HBO Max, why they're going to make money is simply because they're going to put a $10 ticket on it. Every household's got to pay $10, right? So if you have 50 million households pay $10 per month, mm-hmm. right? That's $500 million per month. Year at the end, what is that? That's $6 billion. You got money coming in. So this is what they're doing there, and you cannot survive if everything is separate. Not around the world, because we're more money oriented when this comes to not spending too much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we're happy with the government providing us stuff, whereas in America that's socialism or communism.
Communism.
Exactly.
So capitalism.
So we're happy with and we're also happy with waiting for a little bit, because this is normal, isn't it? Movies come out a month later, 3 months later. TV shows come out. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm so out of this race. It's
no. What I mean to say is it's culturally different. So
yeah.
So many streaming services aren't going to survive because people simply cannot afford. That's not cultural. That's just simply money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everyone. I want my corner of it. Actually, I'm going to do the same. It's kind of what the music industry is going through as well at the moment. And, I don't know any industry that's not been touched by this pandemic, but
dude, this has nothing to do with pandemic either. I mean, I know, regular time and
I'm just the pandemic has like escalated everything, and
exactly.
it's made it more. It's put its focus. Oh shit!
It's worse than things.
Yeah, exactly. Satch,
want to get a meal? Want to buy something?
Yeah. Any words, Satch?
No, I'm just listening to you guys talk about it, man. I'm good.
Well,
I'm good. I said my piece at the start, man. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we may as well end it there because I need to eat as well.
I gotta order food, man. I'm starving now.
Yeah. Anything to plug? Anything to suggest? Anything?
No. Nothing.
I'm good, man. You know what the fun part is? I just started watching The West Wing on Channel 4.
Oh, right. There you go.
I never watched it when it came out. So, and everybody said, oh, you got to watch it. It's a brilliant show. But I was, 19 then, and I didn't give a shit about politics, but they were not wrong. I watched one episode, and I'm already on the 11th one in 3 days. I cannot stop watching it. It's so good.
It's a good show, man. It's a good show.
Yeah. Anyway.
You put, there's your plug. West Wing, Channel 4. 4OD.
In the UK.
Yeah, 4OD. Go get it.
Hey, if there's a movie everyone wants to check out Boss Level the moment it comes out. It's an amazing film by Joe Carnahan. Yeah, sick film.
Mel Gibson cannot go wrong, buddy. Yeah. His last 3 films, small films he's done, they've been great, though.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the other action film he did. I saw the Fat Man one.
How's Fat Man?
Fat Man was okay, but I haven't seen the other one that sounds like the Ben Affleck, Sandra Bullock romantic comedy. It's got the same name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. I've forgotten the name of the film, though, but it's the name of both of those films. What's it called? That's going to bug me.
Did it come out recently?
Yeah. It came out this year.
Oh, let's Google this shit.
Must have been good then.
Mel Gibson. No, because like quite a few people have said it's really good. The trailer looked good. And it was called Forces of Nature.
Oh.
Force of Nature.
I watched this. Yeah. I watched this.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a popcorn movie.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's you don't have to worry about Mel Gibson at all. It's all of them. They all are. Mel Gibson is better than most, but that said, the story isn't there. So it's a good action film. That's simple as that. I wouldn't say anything else. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to watch it, go ahead. If you don't, you're not missing anything. Yeah.
And on that bombshell, I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you, listeners, for listening. Also, there's the Creative Control podcast, which is has an episode every second Monday. I believe there's an episode upcoming. I'm not sure what episode that is on at the moment, but I'm sure Mr. Ken will tell you on his side of the podcast. Other than that, guys, take it easy. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Souls. Thanks, Sach. This has been the Zedos Game Podcast. We're out.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I am the man that killed Jamie Lannister.